Earl Thomas.
Why? What happened?
Earl Thomas.
He okay?
Where should we start?
Well, let's start at the start with him because he pulled an okey doke on us.
Yep.
He needed some PR one-on-one right off the bat. He tried to get out ahead of the story by going on Instagram and saying, "Hey, some stuff's about to come out between me and my wife.
Stuff happens.
Some stuff happened, and I want you to pray for us." And so everybody immediately thought Earl got in trouble. He got arrested for maybe hitting his wife, something like that. Something domestic happened, which, yes, something domestic happened. But what ended up transpiring, I don't think was anything we could have predicted.
So if you have not heard the story, a quick summary so that everyone's on the same page. Earl Thomas got in a fight with his wife, Nina. His brother came and picked him up. This is I think a regular afternoon. His brother came and picked him up to leave the house to defuse the fight. His wife then pulled up Earl's Snapchat, logged into his Snapchat, got his location, said, "Oh shit, Earl is with some chicks, probably fucking him and his brother up at it again, doing orgy shit." She then got her crew, which, by the way, just as a side, talk about ride or die, to call up your friends and be like, "Grab your knives, we're going to go confront Earl." Mm-hmm. So got her crew, went to the Airbnb that they were at, caught Earl and Seth?
I believe it was Seth.
Earl and Seth in bed with women and together, and then proceeded to hold Earl at gunpoint with a unloaded gun, but it actually had a bullet in there, to try to scare him straight. God forbid. I mean, I'm actually like, thank God Earl Thomas didn't die, because It seems like it could have been a situation where someone accidentally fires off a gun, and then they arrested Earl Thomas's wife. Earl Thomas did not get arrested. End scene.
Safety first. She took the magazine out. So she was trying to be safe when she was holding a gun a foot away from his head. She didn't realize that there was one in the chamber. It was like the Tiger King situation where it's like, this gun won't fire without a magazine. And it turns out it can if there's one in the chamber. She confronts Earl. We need to get a detailed breakdown of exactly what the layout of this house was. Were they in the same bed together? Were the brothers just... Were they broing out?
I think it was
separate rooms.
I think it was one of those Doc Antle orgy beds where it's like there can be 10 people in a bed at the same time. That has to be, just remove ourselves from the situation, that has to be the coolest thing that an Earl and Seth duo have ever done together, right? Like, those names aren't, you're not thinking like Earl and Seth, we're about to fucking get down. Earl and Seth are sitting at a diner, like, complaining to each other about God knows what. They're not having orgies in the middle of the day at their fuck shack.
I think Earl and Seth have definitely run from the law before. They've definitely been on the lam, like as fugitives together, partnering up.
Seth's kind of a
using
pussy name.
Payphones. Earl and Seth, but no, Seth is definitely a name that gets Earl into trouble, not the other way around.
Oh,
Seth is the more wild card of the two names. You throw a Travis into the mix, and now we're talking a real fuck up of a triumvirate. But Earl on its own, Earl seems like a guy that likes to hang out in his backyard on a lawn chair, maybe have one too many, almost drown in his kiddie pool, come back inside and sleep it off. When you add a Seth into the mix, Seth is the one that brings over the illegal fireworks.
Oh, I disagree.
And then they start blowing shit up. One thing leads to another, and they start fucking.
I think you just described that old TV show. Though,
I don't think
Earl.
I don't think Seth's
My name is
get
Earl.
down like that. No.
You need to expand your Seth horizon.
Oh yeah,
friend.
give me some Seths.
Just Seth in general. Just
Seth Curry, the lamer Curry.
Seth that I knew.
No, but
up.
his son is going to be a monster.
But he's still the lamer Curry.
Yeah, but he married Doc Rivers' daughter, so Seth Curry's kid is going to be the greatest basketball player alive.
Right now you're saying it?
He'll be taking down the Bronnies.
Put that in
Bronny,
there.
Bryce, Maximus, on the hot seat.
I don't think. Well, here's the other thing: is that Seth? I would assume if your brother's in the NFL, and your brother's like, "Yo, let's do some fucking," you kind of just have to do it. Like, you don't get to decide. Like, hey, Earl, could we try this? Could we try to have sex with these women in different rooms? That's something that Earl Thomas calls the shots. He's like, I'm the NFL player. I'm the millionaire. If I say we're gonna fuck in the same room, we're gonna fuck in the same room.
I think that Seth is. You don't have to convince Seth too much to be a wingman in this situation, because
it's
to Seth, he's like, the only way that I'm going to be able to score these hot chicks is if I'm around Earl. So it's a symbiotic relationship where, if you had to draw it up and playing out your night, you probably don't go into a night being like, I can't wait to have sex with girls with my brother in the room having sex with them too. But it's a give and take where it's like, I could be having sex with more attractive women if Earl is around. I just got to bite the bullet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I just got to bite the bullet.
It's
not
Earl
that's a
driving.
bad choice of words. I just have to suck it up. That's another bad choice of words. I just have to deal with the fact that I'm going to watch my brother have sex while I have sex.
But that's my point. And so you're agreeing that Earl is the driver here.
Earl is the driver of the orgy.
Yeah,
I looked at his scouting report. This is true. Okay, this is going to sound like a Rick Riley. This is his scouting report. He can play man-to-man or in the box. He's a prototypical strong safety.
I think you made that up.
Nope.
For a Rick
Nolan
Riley
Naraki.
It's going to be a very interesting Mother's Day on Sunday.
Yeah, that's true. What do you get your mom in that situation?
I don't know.
I mean,
and also, like, if the whole family comes over, does Seth come? I don't think so.
I think they both come.
Okay, there's a Rick Riley.
There's Rick Riley.
I don't think Seth is allowed over the house on Mother's Day. It's going to be awkward. It's going to be very awkward. I just want to know more about these women who showed up with Earl Thomas's wife, like brandishing weapons, being like, let's go fuck them up.
I also need to know what type of Airbnb review they got afterwards. I want to read that.
I thought Airbnbs were done, so I feel like this must be, he's got an Airbnb on deck, like at all times. It's kind of like Michael Irvin in the White House.
He's stimulating the economy a little bit.
He's just got that ready to go.
Now, were they all part of the same social distancing circle? Had they been in quarantine together?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the big concern.
Either way, wild story, because there was a moment where Earl Thomas's career was over, and then it came out and it was like, wait, dude, why didn't you just say on your Instagram when you got ahead of the story that you didn't get arrested? You should have just said that. But weird story out of nowhere. Earl Thomas, hey, stuff happens. I just want to know what has to happen in Earl Thomas's life outside of getting held at gunpoint by his wife after an orgy with his brother to escalate it to the next level beyond stuff happens.
I think stuff happens is just an all-encompassing term where if you can say it after this, you can say it after anything. And he's right. I mean, find a hole in his logic. Stuff does happen sometimes.
Stuff does happen, but that is more than stuff happening. So for him to be that cool about stuff happening, I don't know what makes Earl Thomas be like, yo, shit went down. That's the next level.
Yeah, I mean, he was on the field when they lost the Super Bowl at the 2-yard line.
Yeah, that
so
was
after you see
more
that,
than stuff happens.
That's more than stuff happens.
You get run over by Derrick Henry.
Yeah, so like
shit happens.
You take a stiff arm from Derrick Henry in the playoffs, all of a sudden getting caught with your pants down with your little brother in the same bed. It's like, okay, I'd rather do this than get run over again.
It's pretty much the Seinfeld yada yada yada. Like, dude, stuff happens. You got held at gunpoint by your wife.
It is the new yada yada.
That's more than stuff happens.
He yachted incest.
We need to figure out a different word for stuff happen. A different phrase for stuff happens when you're talking about being held, almost dying because you had an orgy with your brother in the middle of the afternoon.
Now, do you think that like we're going to see social distancing laws change because they're protesting the fact that they can't go to the bowling alley? Nobody's brought up orgies yet, but you know that the orgy people are underground waiting for somebody to take a stand.
The orgy people have been key. You don't stop orgying because there's a pandemic. That's not something you do.
You might because you have to schedule out the orgy, and I think that there's one person in every group chat, even if it's an orgy group chat, that's like, hey, are we sure that this is the safe thing to do?
No, orgy people will find a way to orgy no matter what. The hell could be, the earth could be burning down. There could be an asteroid, and they'll be like, we got a fucking orgy. Like, we had this on the books. We have to do it.
Zoom orgies aren't the same.
No. I'm confident that orgy people will, in the face of a pandemic, they will keep sucking and fucking their way through it.
Let's hope
absolutely. So.